when I take trips to LA. I always spend a couple of days, San Diego or even the Bay. West side when I land, I'ma say I'm an all-star. In my trucks, in my trucks, in my trucks. In my trucks, in my trucks, in my trucks. In my trucks, in my trucks, in my trucks. West Coast vibing, good smoke, low riding out.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Cigar Sundays. I am Chef Earl Pearl, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with I am Jazz Garcelle and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm across all social media platforms.
All of them.
Make sure y'all like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification gang, hit the notification button, hit the notification gang, and make sure that y'all hit the links in the description because we got some good stuff for y'all to go check out. Peace, God. How you feeling this evening?
Peace, God. Man, I'm good as always. Man, I'm a little tired. I ain't gonna lie. I've been working, but I'm good though. Yeah, we here for it. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. I've been working too, putting in some work in that garden.
I see.
Yeah.
Yo, tell me that's a lot of work, and it a little tiring. Like it's rewarding in itself, but at the same time, when you sit back and look at the labor, like you really do work.
Trust me,
It's real work.
and then dealing with these discs and stuff like that, man. Let me tell you, I went out there and did
real work.
And did that what I sent to you. I had to recoup. It took me 2 days to recover. I actually, between taxes, like taxes was crazy this year, but we got it done. But between that right there and going out there doing that work like you speak of, it took me 2 days to recoup. Just to like feel good again, to be able to go back and and take a stab back at it. But
yo, God, your audio is choppy and your video looks frozen to me. Are you moving now? You good?
Okay, we good now.
It seems like a little delay, but that might be mine. But yeah, I think it's good though.
Okay. Well, I mean, we go ahead and rock out. We get into the show this evening.
Hell yeah.
Man, what we got? We got responsibility. Responsibility. That's the word we're going to be examining this evening. Yeah. We got is it bad? Is it good? Is it misunderstood? And we even have the title.
I'm gonna throw out my pseudo definition when you finish. Go ahead.
And we even have the title. Is responsibility a foolish idea or a path to success?
Oh man. Oh man, you already know, son. Like pseudo definition. This is an Aliism. Is to respond to the ability to get something done, right? Like you gotta respond with the ability to get something done. You gotta put work in, right? And I think that's me, right? Like that's how I conceptualize it. We about to learn tonight though, if I'm right or wrong.
My responsibility. Hey, that's how I always thought of it too, right? Like, do I have the ability to respond? I think we all have the ability to respond. Is it a foolish idea to respond to it though? That's I don't know. I guess it depends on what it is, maybe. We'll see.
So we just jaw jacking right now.
That's it.
So because we ain't pull the definition up yet. So until we do that, I'm gonna say it's never foolish to respond. right? Because in my mind so far, without the definition, a response is different from a reaction, right? To
Oh,
me, a
response.
response is calculated. A response is weighed and measured. To me, again, this is me breaking down the word responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Into response and having the ability and what they say in Spider-Man, those with great power got to do it or something like that.
They say a
I
whole
messed it
lot of
up.
stuff,
I messed it
God.
up.
Yeah, a whole lot of stuff.
All right.
Which one? Which one?
But but yeah, nah, that's how I look at that. So, but yeah, nah, let's like, so I don't think it's ever bad to respond. I think it's terrible to react though, because that sounds irresponsible. But I don't know. I could be thinking about it completely wrong.
Well, me
I'm
too.
open. I'm open.
Shit, me too, right? The whole movement. It's a movement. Turns out it's just more than it's not more, it applies to more than one thing. I guess just like all lives mattering and everything else. So what we're gonna get to is we're gonna get to the
Right?
definition. We're gonna get to the definition and try to figure this one out. All right, let's get to it.
Right.
All right. So we got responsibility, the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. The state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. The state of fact or being of being accountable or to blame for something. The state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something. The opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. A thing that one is required to do as part of a job, role, or legal obligation. A moral obligation to behave correctly toward or in respect of. So
Yeah,
let's
I
see
don't
what
think I'm
else we
tripping,
got.
son.
Let's see what else we got right here. They say people also ask, what is the true meaning of, let's be entertained by this real quick. The state or fact of being responsible, answerable, or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management. The responsibility for this mess is yours. Okay, so let's come back up here to this definition and see what's going on with this for a second. So which one of these we want to go with first, God? Because what I'm looking at when I'm looking at responsibility, I see it spread over so many areas of life, so many use cases. Um, let's look at some of the similar words.
Yo, son, yo, you can. It's so easy to do to look at it so broadly because if you just take each a word from each one of those sentences, they apply like duty, accountability, blame, opportunity, ability, independently, make decisions, obligation, right? To behave, like that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Word
interesting.
trustworthiness, level headedness. rationality,
right? So
reason.
again, so to respond can never be bad because that means that you thought about that. Like that's
Reliability, maturity, even maturity,
mature,
adultness.
mature adultness, maturity and adultness side by side. It got to be something to the sequence of these words, bro. I'm convinced. It got to be some. They put it like here for a reason, like maturity, adultness, and right before that you got stability.
And then at the end, it finally equals competence.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Y'all better if we read the first page of the dictionary and where where they tell you how to read the dictionary, it'll tell you that these words are in order for some reason.
Authority, control,
Wow.
power, leadership, management, influence, duty. Okay.
Nah.
So we have,
So
go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
I
Go ahead.
don't know. It's definitely not misunderstood. I think it's well understood, and people are doing what they're doing and avoiding responsibility. 100% is what I think.
But you think
I think
it's understood.
I think it's undercut. Yeah, bro. Cause again, even with my pseudo breakdown of the words and being able to having a response, and the ability to do something like that still falls in line with all of that, right? Like you gotta be reasonable, you gotta be mature, you gotta act like an adult. You have to seek stability, right? Right. You have to maintain stability,
Absolutely, yeah.
right?
Answerability. Like you
Ooh,
got it.
ooh, you have to accept guilt.
There it is. Guilt is there too. Guilt is there.
You,
Culpability
you have to accept guilt and fault,
and
right?
fault, blame, like
Who
to be
the hell want to be
responsible.
responsible?
Who want to be responsible, right? I get it. I get it.
I get it. I
I
do
get it.
get it. But and that's why I say it's understood, right? Because everybody else is having fun, right?
Ain't they
And
having fun? They are having fun. That's what
or it
they
look,
that's
or
exactly.
at least it looked like, and fun is not on his list. I haven't seen fun, uh, or even joy or entertainment. I haven't seen uh, everything looks like work. Everything looks, yo, son.
Right. Right. Everything here looks like work, looks like things that I need to do
Yep,
to actually accomplish something, to actually have some type of structure,
correct.
some type of definitely just some type of structure. Like, I mean, it's a governance, it's a like we don't see the oh yeah, we do see the word. So they synonymous with each other. Accountability with responsibility. So that's what,
Yeah,
that's where I'm just like, okay, now that we see that responsible has has blame and fault and guilt, culpability, things that
liability.
liability, things that are considered to be negative, right? Are considered to be bad.
Punitive, punishable, right? At least, because liability makes me think about money. Culpability also makes me think about money, like lawsuits and stuff like that.
Okay.
So does guilt.
Okay. Well, I can
Right.
they do too. To me, like liability be like you could be, in a relationship with somebody who a liability to you,
Yeah.
you know. Somebody in a relationship could do something. Could be
Jeopardize
hanging.
everything.
But it could be hanging with people that are doing stuff, and that's culpability. You with them, birds of a feather. So you know what I'm saying?
God, that is super real. I lost an entire job over that, right? Like, just not even knowing, not even doing nothing crazy, just being seen with the same person, with a specific person for a while, and they just so happen to be under investigation. Like,
Right.
uh,
Yeah, it
um,
happens. I heard a guy say on a podcast, I'm gonna try to repeat what he said verbatim, but I may mess it up. But shout out to them guys. And he said it's like a good player on a team. You could have a real good player on one team, but the team still suck, no matter how good that one player is. So no matter where that player go, every time they walk into that gym, he walking into that player is walking into the gym with a bunch of losers. And that's how everybody else receives them. It doesn't matter how good that one player is. Now, when that one player goes to another team where there is some players that have equal athletic ability or close enough, then now that good player will be able to shine more. And when they come in the door with that team, that other group of people is not looked at as you rolling with a bunch of losers. And I was like, okay, I get that, because now what he was correlating it to was like when guys hang out with like a bunch of guys that aren't doing anything, aren't responsible for real about a lot of stuff. And then you got young ladies that hang out with other young ladies and they do stuff too that is, could be looked at as irresponsible as well. So hanging around them people, like, that's how people gonna receive you. You showing up with that group, it don't matter if you a star. The whole the team is the team sorry. So you might be the best player on the team, but how do everybody else is looking at it like y'all still gonna lose?
no matter what, because you can't play everybody's position. You can only do what you do.
You can only do what you do. So that's culpability. That's culpability. And that could be a liability too. Because let's take it and put it in a different situation. I'm a child. My parents been telling me, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to be more responsible, watch who you hanging with, stuff like that. But I'm hanging with these dudes and then they go do something. I'm with them. I don't do it, but I get involved. But I'm just there. Maybe I ain't do no whole bunch of stuff, but I'm just there. Automatically you guilty. You was there. So whatever
That
they
was one of the
did,
cats from the Central Park Five, right? Like he just went to the jailhouse with his homeboy, and he had to go to prison too.
well, I ain't talking about people who not doing no crimes.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the culpability and the fault there
I got you.
lies
I got
on
you. That's true.
the
That was
on
a
the
bad
police
example on my
officers
part.
who did
You're 100% correct.
who didn't do a proper
100%
full
correct.
investigation before they made an arrest and wrongfully incarcerated whoever it
100%
was.
correct.
You know what I mean?
Pardon self.
But at the same time though, like, I can't be saying like, well, I could be saying like, well, I don't do this, I don't do that, but then I hang with a whole bunch of people who do that.
You might as well do that too.
I might as well do that too.
Correct.
Because I'm gonna be culpable, right? I'm gonna be culpable.
Yo, like responsibility makes your circle real small, right? Because either real small or if it's big, everybody in it is like super official and legit, right? Because
Yes. 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 I like
right,
that vision right there. That's what we striving for. Everybody strong.
everybody strong, right? Like and you know, and I'm with that, right? And I'm like, you know, like just get rid of the competition, like we are not competing against each other, like we are in a race, but we are not racing against each other, right?
Absolutely.
Like no matter what, we are always supporting each other in this race, but we are not racing, right? And until we get to a mindset of just being responsible, like for real, like that's what I'm saying. It's hard because like none of those words said fun, none of those words said easy, none of those words said um, lightweight or anything soft or like you got to be tough to be responsible.
To be mature, to be an adult.
To be you do, son. Like you got like real talk. Like you got to be tough to be an adult, to be mature, right? Like you have to be able to withstand quote unquote peer pressure or social media influence and what your family gonna say and what your friends gonna say and all this other crap, right? And do what is most appropriate in this situation for you and everybody involved. It's kind of like driving, right? Like you gotta drive as if like what they say, drive for everybody else as on the road as well. To drive defensively.
Yeah, defensive drive. I'm a defensive driver.
Hell yeah. How do you not, bro? People are crazy. Right?
Yeah, I
They make you they
definitely
make they make U-turns from the right lane.
from the far right lane. from the from the slow lane. They did that from the slow lane
You know what I'm saying?
on the 4-lane highway. Crazy.
Folks are nuts.
It happens. But yeah, but
Right?
none of this stuff, none of what is similar or none of responsibility um reads fun. None of it reads fun.
No.
But to a person like myself,
And myself.
I think we enjoy the definition of it. One right here in particular, a moral obligation to behave correctly toward or in respect of. I know I'll say that's the one of responsibility that I think that I know for a fact that I have applied to myself because, you know, understanding my morals are my morals. Like everybody, we may share morals with people, but everybody has their own individual set of morals.
100%.
You know,
No matter what they try to tell you, there's no such thing as a universal morality.
no, no, it's not
Like the sun is gonna shine on all our asses.
on everybody, right? Eclipse or no eclipse,
Whether you see the eclipse or whether you don't see the eclipse,
it's still
it's
gonna
still gonna
happen,
happen.
right? No control over it. Like nobody on earth has control over it? Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. You name them. Name them.
All right. You know, and what you were saying is 100% correct, because especially when you talk about your individual morality, and how and it goes with what I was saying about how tough you got to be to maintain and be true to your individual morality, and act mature so you can be act like an adult, right? And in that is where, for me, is where the fun lies, because those things allow fun to continue, right?
Absolutely.
Like if everything is in order, then you can continue to have fun.
Yes.
It, if everything is stable, everything above stability is awesome,
Right. Everything above
right? Like
stability is, I mean, it's sturdy.
right, like once your food, clothing, shelter, and you have enough ammo, or the wherewithal to know how to protect that, is established and in place, like everything else, like that's when fun starts. Once you have those things established, fun, because again, right there, until you are stable, until you are responsible, to me, I don't think you're having fun for real, because you have liability, you have too many things, you have too many burdens weighing on you to consider that fun in reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't like having um bills due and trying to go on a vacation, or
Hell no.
or uh
I've done that before.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, I've done it in the past. I've done it in the past with, like, I ain't have a whole lot of money, and then I still went and did something, and it was just like, I knew I shouldn't have went and spent that money on that,
I
you
had a
know.
credit card. They gave me a credit card, and I was I was like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I ain't have it, but I went, and I thought I had fun until I still was paying that joint 2 years later.
Man, trust me, I know about that credit card flow.
Right? Right?
Yeah, but we are
Because I
being
wasn't stable,
right. We've stable now, though.
super stable now, right?
we had
I,
to,
I
we
know what
had to
fun
issue
is.
some level headedness had to had to be applied.
Had to damn near drown.
Some reasonableness, and and then we finally got the the point that we finally got the influence from the responsibility that of how to we finally got the importance of the what I say. Hold up. We finally got the influence of the dependability of credit, of the reliability of credit. I'm trying to put these words together they got here to make it be responsible. So the influence of being of scuffling, the management, the mismanagement, and being irresponsible, the improper management of finances, and then learning the reliability of credit, it all came together. So now I could say I'm responsible with my credit, you know,
Only after that
only
can you
after that.
can you say that, right?
And shit,
Look at the last one.
me trying to get through that sentence was the way I was fucking up my credit back in the day. For
Right?
real.
Like if you just look at the moral obligation to behave. If you start from the trustworthiness and go, it ends at competence, It doesn't even end at being awesome or excellent or something unattainable. It ends at competence, right? Like you are dependable. To go backwards, you're dependable. You are reliable. You act like an adult. You show maturity. You have proven and demonstrated stability, right? Like you demonstrate common sense, right? You exercise a sense of judgment, right? Reasonableness, right? Your reason is sound. Like you have a sense of sanity in this insane world. Like your rationality is outstanding, not outstanding, but beholden of that of a upright citizen, right? Your level-headedness, right? And you've been proven to be trustworthy, right? Those things right there, bro, like that paragraph sent like those words right there. Like I said, ends in competence, like nothing outrageous.
Nothing outrageous.
Nothing outrageous. Like it's nothing I just said. Like each one of those sentences I made from each one of those words to me didn't sound like somebody was asking you to prove if gravity's real.
They were actually you to do the impossible.
Hey, like,
That's
hey,
simple
you
too.
know,
Just fall down. Just fall down. That's it. How much you want to bet?
you know what I mean? Like,
Drop a pen
you
in
know, so
hold a pen in the air, hold a pen in your hand and let it go. Yeah, it's definitely that. I'm over here having fun with it. He said there's no picture, just a picture of Google. Can you hear me though? Can you hear us though, big dog?
yeah, no, I got you.
No comment in the
I
chat
got
if
you.
you can hear us. He know who I'm talking to. Or pull up on the
Oh,
chat.
word.
Hit the link and pull up. And then I add you to the screen. And you could come on and tell us how you be responsible. If you responsible or not. Yeah. But definitely, um,
Yeah, hit the
definitely
link.
God, definitely God. What you were saying, it's not difficult to ask somebody. I'm gonna get serious. I've been over here chilling. But it isn't difficult and um it isn't like too much to ask for people to be responsible. I'm trying to figure out what, like, why is it when we see the state of fact of being accountable or to blame for something, is that where being responsible is is uh is throwing a lot of people off. And what I mean by that is, like, when we say the state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something, we know the blame is the negative thing, the blame, the fault, the guilt, the culpability, blameworthiness, even the liability. Even in being accountable, there's a fault, there's a guilt, there's a culpability, there's a liability. And being accountable isn't as, I guess, an abrasive word as blame. Okay, I guess it's a more sensible word for people's feelings, right? Emotional wise,
Oh, that man,
right?
that was a perfect word because I got one word that I'm a little confused and we're gonna look it up because I might be incorrect.
Okay,
Everything you're talking about right now, especially with those feelings, is consideration, right?
is where
Like we
consideration
have
comes in.
that's where, or the lack thereof, right? Because
Okay.
to assume fault or to assume or accept guilt, like you got to say, was it me? Or no, you got to say it was me. You got to say I messed up. I'm sorry. To be accountable, right? That means that you have to be considerate of the situation and your role, and that's why I'm like why consideration isn't associated with responsibility. Like to me, right? Because even all that morality stuff, and even if you apply everything to just yourself and nobody else, to me that's you being considerate of yourself, right? To me that's you taking consideration of the fact that people are people, and you know, just like
That everyone is still learning.
yeah, right. Like, everybody's
Everyone
still
is
learning,
still
right? Like
learning. and,
right,
and that's a
and
that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
that's tough because everybody is still everybody is still learning at the same time, and while we're learning at different levels, we're learning at different speeds, right? We're taking um uh we might both be taking Spanish class, but some of us might be at an advanced Spanish, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
like like it's still the same thing, but they got the one where you get to talk real fast, right? Like they ain't your class if you level one. It's still Spanish, but it's you can't keep up. You're not equipped for that, right? You lack consideration for yourself and for those people interjecting and having an expectation of fluency if you are level one talking to, Cesar Chavez or some damn body. You know what I
Right. I got you. So what would we say is a
mean?
when would we say would it be bad to take responsibility? When would it be bad? What's a bad situation of taking responsibility?
Of a bad situation of taking responsibility.
Yeah, or or being responsible.
When you are in an abusive relationship and you take the responsibility of the 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 predator or the person that is behaving badly and assuming fault or guilt for why you getting abused, possibly. I would think
Mm,
that would be a negative person, not a negative person. I would think that would be a negative aspect of responsibility.
okay. So you said like if a person in an
That
abusive
makes sense.
relationship.
Yeah, and not so much that they stay, but it's almost like I guess Stockholm syndrome, like the person, uh, like they beat me because they love me, or all this is because it's for my benefit kind of thing. I think that's a misplaced responsibility. I think that person is not in position to be responsible.
They not in position to be responsible. I got you.
That's what I think.
I got you.
I think they, I think they victims. I think you know, they under coercion, threat and duress, right? Like
But see,
they
that's
doing what they
not.
got to do.
But see, that's not bad. That's not bad responsibility. I'm thinking that's more like they ain't taking no responsibility for nothing. Like they just not even a person in that particular situation of the victim in that situation. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
But allowing themselves
uh,
to get beat, allowing themselves to get beat, they are taking responsibility negatively for the
That's what I
whoever's
mean.
making the false accusations towards them. And that, so okay. Yeah, they will be taking responsibility for negative for lies.
For lies. Because because they love me, or that this is what they need to get their stress out so that they don't lose their job, so they can take care of us, or or whatever. I don't know, right? But again, I'm not denigrating or belittling people that's abused, or saying that it's ever their fault. What I'm strictly speaking towards is the people in the situation that in the moment feel like the thing that is happening to them is happening to them because of something that they did, right? They
From a lie. They ain't
from a
do it.
lie.
Yeah,
No,
from a
no, no,
lie.
no. I'm not saying they did anything at all. I'm not saying
Yeah,
they did any.
this is
I'm saying that they allowed they drank the Kool-Aid. They accepted responsibility for the ass whooping, so to speak.
yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, because they won't go get help because they don't think they need it. Right? They
Right,
think this is
right.
they 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 think this is real love in that situation until something happens so drastic or so tragic, or somebody grabs them and shake them up or something, right? Like, but or they might just die, right? Like they might just get loved to death.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That is a because when you use that case for I think of my own personal uh in the past history. I dated a young lady, and I remember one time she said to me um that if a man didn't put his hands on her and come outside himself, that she was taught that he don't really love you. And I was just like, I'm not I'm not it. I'm not your it, because
Hell no.
I'm not gonna whoop your ass for you to think that I love you. I ain't cut from that. I ain't cut from that type of cloth. So
Now, if you can modify that to now we just have a safe word, and now we switch it to an adult time sex thing, like BDSM or however that goes. Um, I can understand, but to make it like a thing, nah, I can't. And who are you to say that she is wrong for wanting or needing that if that's what she was taught?
whatever.
Right? Right?
Hell no,
She just
nah.
no.
That's
I'm
wrong.
talking about wrong for her. I'm like
No,
she
it's no,
wrong. She
it's wrong. It would be wrong if us was an equation, but if
yes,
but if you
that's
gonna go
wrong.
get your
That's
ass whooped somewhere else, like I don't encourage it. I think you should,
I don't encourage it,
you know what I'm saying? I
but
think you should
I'm not
learn
about to be
something
your
else.
Captain Saver person, right? I'm not gonna be saving, going around making sure that you don't get beat up because that's what you like.
And
And
you said flip it to the bedroom and be like and put some kink on it. Okay. Make it a little freak session. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, if that was where the energy was, but you can't
it
get past
wasn't.
you can't get to that energy
Nah,
when there's so
you
much,
need me to slap you.
yeah, when it's needed, you need me to slap you, you need me to whoop your ass before we get to that. Like, that's crazy.
You need me to disrespect you
You
before
need me
we
to
get to that. Yeah,
disrespect myself.
yeah. Cause I gotta come out my what she said. You gotta come out yourself. Like
You
you
gotta
gotta
come
be
out yourself. If a
hell
man
nah.
don't, I was taught that if a man doesn't come outside himself, that's what she said. I was like, oh God, I got to get away from you.
Yeah, that's a thank you for telling me that, because again, right? She's just not your person.
No, definitely not. Nah.
Right?
Nah.
Like she might be into MMA and she might just need another fighter. Who knows, right?
Yeah, like that's too wild. That's too
Right.
wild. But that is how somebody in certain situations, um, I'm just thinking like, wow, like I could have actually took responsibility and been like, for something bad. Like, okay, well, you need me to be like this. So for us to be together, I'm gonna go ahead and whoop your ass.
You know, because especially if it goes so. Oh, that's a perfect, right? Because
It's
that
ridiculous.
also happens, right? People
Yeah, yeah,
capitulate and it's like, oh, okay, like your ass is so fat, you are so pretty, you so fine. I can't imagine somebody else being with you, so I'm gonna do whatever you say you need, right? You say elbows, elbow, boom, right? Um, yeah, right. That's
that's
another
wild. That's so wild that
again, right? Just not being stable and not being true to their own moral obligations, right? Because that's when it becomes bad, right? Oh, that was we took one example, right, and from both aspects separately showed you how bad.
I'm just yeah, like that's just bad right there. Like
Right,
how?
right.
Like what part of love? Like where is that in when you just if you just think of love and all of the ideas and thoughts and gifts and tweets and hashtags that come to mind, domestic violence, man beating woman does not even fit in that whole realm. That's in a whole nother
Or vice versa.
or woman beating man or beating on each other and it ain't, you know,
It ain't kinky.
yeah, like come
It's
on.
terrible, right? It's you know. And again, again, like I say, who you can't judge. I'm just saying, I'm glad she was up front because that gives you the opportunity to make a decision, right? And
It wasn't like that guy.
I feel
She-
I was
she-
hoping, I was hoping.
nah, like like that's me and my wife. We had a conversations, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn from that, you know. But like, but
That's
like
very mature of you.
that was trial and error. That was like, oh God, no, like that's horrible. You
Yo,
need,
I think that's what it means to learn a lesson, right? Not only do you not do it anymore, but like you know why you don't want to do
yeah,
it, right? Like you really understand, you learned that lesson so many times. Like I'm good, right? Like I want stability. I'm gonna maintain. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to maintain this. I'm gonna take take responsibility.
I'm gonna take
I'm
responsibility for my actions. You know what I'm saying, and hold myself accountable.
to hold
Right?
myself accountable. All
I'm
right.
gonna
So that
exercise
this
some
stability
level
could,
headedness.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Some reason.
right.
You know, some maturity. I'm gonna take some blame, some fault.
When it's due,
Yep.
right?
Because it's all
When
for
it's due.
resolve anyway. It's all to try to get to back to the sturdy, back to the competence, back to the stability.
And that's the key, right? Like the idea is not to be a sucker, right? The idea is not to think of other people as suckers because they are taking responsibility and they are accountable and they are trustworthy and all that stuff. Like they are not suckers. They are normal. Like that is normal. Like that is natural. right? Because if you are not stable, you ain't right, right?
Pretty much.
They talk
Pretty
about
much.
they talk about the humanity coming out of the ice ages and how there was so much of nothing, and how the violence they put people on, the whatever, just fighting over everything. It's like, come on, man, like.
I had another relationship I had back in the day, and I was asking the young lady. I said, "Do you why you ain't get married?" And or why you think you know you're not ready to get married? And they was like, because they was unstable. So
Honest.
so I really didn't know what unstable meant though. I was just like unstable at that time, like back then. And
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, okay, well, unstable. you know. Like I guess
Super, super honest.
I'm gonna work with what I got to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but it's saying understanding now it's like I wasn't willing to be responsible. I wasn't willing to be mature. I wasn't willing to be an adult. I wasn't willing to be dependable to another person. You know, I wasn't trustworthy to another person.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
wasn't what I'm saying? Like I
All
wasn't
of them.
reliable to another person. I did I have morals? I didn't even know where my moral complex was or where my morals stood at.
She said she ain't had none.
Pretty much ain't had none. That's what it sound like, you know. Even though I would say maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But to say unstable sounds like like
I don't know. You can't.
like you
For me, you can't tell me stuff like that, and then all the implications that apply don't apply all of a sudden, right? Because I'm saying they apply. Like, and if you tell me you're unstable, that means you're unreliable. That means that if I get locked up, you out, right? If you do something, you might do something to get me locked up, and
mm,
you still won't hold me down.
that's crazy. That's crazy. I've been in that too.
Right?
Yeah. Might do something to get me locked up.
Might do it, and that's not cool, man.
Not
Like
cool at all.
if you know, like just leave. Like I'm anti. I'm don't get nobody locked up. Don't make nobody lose their life. Like you can just leave. Like the city big enough to where you can go to the other side and do your whole life, right? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
it ain't necessarily worth it to lose your life or take one. Um, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like if in reactions you react and you would take a life. You react and take your own life. You react and um and just do what feels right at the
Yeah.
moment, just to get past this current emotion that you're feeling. But to respond, like you thinking about it, right? Like and for me personally, I do think people um make choices and take the responsibility uh to end their own lives, right? Is not That's not always a reaction. That too is sometimes well thought out and calculated. So I don't take away anybody's right as humans, right? To live and die and live as a,
Yeah, I just asked that if we involved, be honest. That's all.
be honest.
Like if that's
Just
what
be
you,
honest. Yeah.
if you are a person who likes to not be responsible, I don't care what type of dealings we got going on, whether it's a business relationship, personal relationship, be honest. Because
Yeah.
I think it's more in personal relationships, because in personal relationships, a lot of times you don't have a clear picture like right away. But a business relationship, there's always something on the front lines that is
Hmm.
like the glue is what is the thing that's encouraging us to get together, or what our
Yeah.
goal is going to be, and then maybe later on business dealings, you know.
And with that, and with business, being upfront benefits everybody because let's say I come up and I'm like, yo, man, so we doing a thing, but I'm not the most responsible at accounting or the paperwork, so to speak. That doesn't exclude me from participation.
Right,
That means somebody else got to do the paperwork,
right.
right? Because we might miss a deadline messing with me,
But you
right?
presented
And
that. You presented that at the business meeting, and
that's what I'm saying.
also
Yeah,
contributed what you do have, your strong points. You know, you weren't you were
I'm
responsible
not just
enough.
totally ducking responsibility.
Right, you were responsible enough to say, hey, this is where I need to improve
Excuse me.
at. So you may not want to assign me with this, because I already know myself that I need to improve in this area, or it's something that I prefer not to even deal with if we can. But here are my strong points too. This is where if you really want to see me get busy, this where y'all need to put me at to get busy within this,
Correct.
you know, operation. So that makes sense, right? But personal relationships, who sits down and has a conversation about they vices and they habits and they this and they bad, all the bad stuff and all the good stuff before they start with the kinky stuff?
I ain't, yo. So I'm not a standard by any means. But because I'm so critical of myself, I'm super critical of everybody else, right? So I got like a little litmus test, bro. Just in conversation to see if I even want to talk to somebody for real, right?
Okay.
And to even see if this person wants to continue this conversation with me, because I'm like, yo, I'm not the nicest person, right? Like I'm not for everybody, right? Like even if I got the answers to your questions, you may want to hear that. You may want to hear the answer from somebody else,
You might want to hear from somebody
right?
else, right?
Right. And I'm gonna be honest because it may not feel good coming from me, right?
I feel you,
And if
guy.
you tough,
I'm a paradox too. I'm a paradox too.
right?
I'm a paradox Pisces. Real
You
talk.
know what I mean?
Real
Yeah,
talk.
you know, we match energy and stand on it.
For real. For real. Definitely. So responsibility. Man, what other areas do we see
For bad
responsibility?
responsibility. Hmm.
Where's some good responsibility at? Some good.
Oh man,
Where's some
that's a
good at?
brushing your teeth in the morning, taking a shower, uh, eating your breakfast, getting your coffee before kissing your spouse,
Oh man.
hugging your kids, um, taking care of the dogs,
Yeah.
uh, the tending to the chickens and whatnot. Um, doing some exercise to get your heart pumping and everything, keep your body right,
Yeah.
and then you go to the plantation and go to work so that you can maintain your stability, so you can maintain all this happiness and smiles and full bellies and warm hugs, and whatnot, right? Um, and then you get to come home and enjoy the 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 benefits of your labor, right? Of you get to actually see in real time how your responsibility played out at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't take no if you ain't take no shorts and you don't have no guilty conscience, right? At the end of the day, when you get home, you can actually see the benefits of being responsible because everything is right there waiting on you.
That's right.
Right? And that's what you're doing it for.
That's right. There's a responsibility in relationships to have effective communication, right?
Yeah.
It's a responsibility to have loyalty. It's a responsibility to have trust. It's a responsibility to have that accountability. And one thing I see though is like what we was talking about earlier is maturity is in responsibility. But I see how just through this short time that I've been alive, I've seen how that maturity part of responsibility doesn't always like go from every single aspect of a person's life. When I look at like me being responsible for certain things, I use myself as an example. Like when we was talking about the credit,
Mm-hmm.
um, I wasn't being responsible with it, but it took some maturity for me to become responsible. It also took a lot of pain too, but I had to acknowledge it as pain based on my lifestyle, my life circumstances, in order for me to say, okay, I need to do better with this. I need to be more
What you
mature.
said, what you call pain on that list, I would associate with accountability.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I took some accountability for it because that was the pain. The pain was I had to be accountable for it, for sure. Right. And but through that, situation, I became more mature and I became more responsible. So it kind of like developed at the same time, if that makes sense. So what I'm noticing is that we have older people who have not had certain experiences in their life. So the level of maturity isn't there and the level of responsibility isn't there because they have never experienced it before. It's like it's something totally new.
It did not have the word grown up on that list.
Nah, didn't have grown up, but I'm looking at some older people,
Yeah, because
in
they
age.
grown ups. They're not
Yeah,
adults,
they
right? They
grown
grown
ups, they
ups.
not adults. That makes sense. And when I say that, like, when
Not
I
just
say that,
yeah,
it sounds negative, right? It'll be like, well, you grown, but you ain't no adult, or you
yeah.
grown,
The
but
equivalent to older versus an elder,
yeah. See,
right?
that's why I say,
Just because you Yeah,
Go
just because
ahead,
you're
go
older
ahead,
than me
God.
don't mean you my elder.
Right. So that's why I say some people get older, but some people grow up. So you just use to grow
Yep.
up in lieu of the, you know what I'm saying? So I be switching them up because I be looking at it like grown up. A grown up is somebody who is grown up, is responsible. That's a grown up.
Mm, not on
An
that
old
list.
person, like you can have an old fool, and they just an old person. You got a lot of age. You old nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got old, but you ain't never grow up though. That's where I had
That's
that's
a
where I have
that's
used it.
to me that sounds like the difference between a old head and an OG.
An old head and an
All right,
OG.
like yeah, I like an OG is somebody that you absolutely respect and it, not necessarily. I don't want to use the word admire, so to speak, but but you not revere might apply. Um, you look up to that person. You accept their criticism and their critique and their judgment versus an old head. It's just somebody that's older than you trying to tell you some shit, right? And it's like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know me. You just, trying to do your good deed for the day, right? And post it on Facebook talking about, look what I did. I helped a little black boy today.
That's the old heads doing it. Nah,
I
old
gave him
heads
some,
ain't
I
no.
gave him some, I gave him some good advice. I
Okay,
told him, you can do it, young man. You can do it. You are somebody.
okay,
I told him to believe in himself, and that's what the old head would do, right? But an OG gonna snatch him up and be like, yo, chill right here. Let's build,
okay.
right? Gonna make sure you go to school. Gonna make sure that you getting good grades. Gonna make sure that everybody that's doing dirt on the block do that away from you, right? Because they see something, right,
Because
and
the
they see
OG
something
told
valuable in
everybody
you.
that you off limits.
You're off
Okay,
limit, and everybody respects the OG because it come with pain. It
I'm
come
gonna
with
show
level
you
of
something.
accountability.
I'm gonna show you something though. I'm with it. I'm rocking with it. So, so I'm an old head, all right, but I'm not an OG.
hmm
I'm an old head because I remember old heads that would tell you something good, but you just
hmm
wouldn't listen to it because they was on drugs. Some of the stuff you would listen to
hmm
because it made sense. And the old just because they was on drugs didn't mean that they weren't once productive members of something or had something going on. They just fell
Correct.
to an addiction. All right. But the OG from my upbringing is that's gonna be a dude who is like you said, if they can still tell people in the hood what to do and what not to do, then that means they still controlling shit in the hood. So that means that they are part of some of the negative stuff that's going on in the community as well. The old heads ain't.
They old heads are not.
The old
The
heads ain't.
OGs are responsible.
So so that's why I
Yeah,
be like, OG, like I don't really have no
responsible.
OG. You know what I'm saying? Like I have big brothers, big
hmm
cousins. You
hmm
know, I don't have no OG because I have learned more, experienced more than some of the older people, the older men that I know that I would consider to be big brothers or like OGs. You know what I'm saying? Because I done seen them do some things, but I don't validate going to prison. You know?
Bro, I've gone to visit my uncle in Attica and Clinton Correctional, right? And he's afforded me opportunities to be scared straight. You know what I'm saying? As a
Yeah.
young man. So yeah, I'm anti. All right, so my OGs was real life.
That's
right?
what I'm
So
saying.
I
So
knew
like,
right away. I knew
yeah,
early that I was never gonna weigh enough uh, to get locked up, right? Like I'm good on that lifestyle, right? So I don't. And you're 100% right, because the old heads was all winos or drug addicts, But I listened to those cats, right?
yeah,
Because they did have a lot of information. They did tell you the truth often,
a lot.
right? They often told you the truth, and 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 it helped me. Like it helped me. Like it helped me not do what they doing, and not help me
Hmm.
not do what they did to get to where they are, right? Like if you listen to their stories, they tell you that they stopped.
Right.
They gave up, right? Like the hustle got too hard, and this is the easiest way to 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 chill.
Yeah, they're going through something. A lot of them was
Yeah,
veterans, seeing some
yeah.
things. Young man, see some things. You see some stuff in your neighborhood, but then you go and see something for real. And then you see it more than once. Like you might catch it every now and then in the neighborhood because your block ain't the block that's where it's going down all the time. You got a safer part of the community, but you actually go get in the mix, and whether that be from going to go join the military or just coming up in the streets, because you've been on them outer blocks, you've been on them inner blocks,
Hmm.
and and all that stuff, and then the whole party scene, like it's the influence, like what's cool, the cool thing to do, and a whole lot of that. But I definitely seen. That's why I say like the old heads, you know. I think I'd rather be. I know for a fact, me personally, like I'm cooler with being an old head versus an OG because I ain't controlling nothing in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but
Yeah. Nor do I have desire to,
yeah,
right? I just want to chill, right? I talk to y'all if y'all want to talk to me, but make it good. Like don't don't waste my time. Like I don't need to talk to you if we in an elevator together. Uh, um, we could literally just ride this ride together. We don't have to have a conversation for real. But that's just Ali, right? I understand if you do, and I'm not mad at you, But if we have consideration, we should take in consideration that everybody's not like you, and they might be different, and you should be cool with their choices and their perspective ways the same as they are. You want them to be with you. So,
right.
because consideration is that's why I say, man, I'm confused why consideration is not associated with responsibility at all, right? Because the OG being responsible versus the old head not being responsible is perfect. Like the OG literally takes all sides into consideration before uh they issue a response, right?
Sometimes
I
you
mean
can get.
that's what the role is supposed to mean in my mind. I ain't talking about the
Yeah,
uh
okay. You talking about theoretically, right? Okay, so yeah, yeah. So the perfect, yeah, off top, they supposed to do that. They supposed to always look at both sides, find out what's gonna be good for business.
right. I mean, I'm gonna be 100%. I would never ever glorify OGs. I done seen way too many cats come out of prison uh, and bring those jailhouse ways back to the block, and people incorporate prison tactics in the streets as if it's normal, or no, as if it's natural, right?
Right.
Um, like they made it normal because so many people done got locked up, and so many squares and lanes, right? That's I'm gonna say that I'm one of those two categories as it pertains uh to the streets, right? I've been outside. I'm known outside, but I'm not a outside kind of guy. I'd rather be in the crib chilling. I'd rather be sitting on the roof on a fire escape or something like that doing me, um, versus doing something else.
I can dig it. Right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Me too. Shit. Somebody said we was part of the Me Too movement. Yeah, I
Right?
am. All positivity. Any Me Too positive stuff, we on it.
You know, and that's what that is, bro. Like it's the OGs are have been detrimental, right? Because they still have so much pull and so much, sway. And I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on in the entertainment world right now, right? Like all the celebrities that are being outed for. I'm gonna say this completely off topic. I find it very ironic that quote unquote Illuminati and all the skeleton key stuff and all the conspiratorial stuff is being dismissed, is being talked about openly and dismissed as being absurd from the people that actually participate in activities that, from a layman's perspective, look very much like some Illuminati type cult type stuff, right? Um, like these cats go to these parties and they participate, right? But then they don't want to take responsibility. They want to have fun, but don't want to be accountable for nothing they seen at that party, for nothing that happened at that party. Right? I think that's crazy. I think if you go and you stayed the whole time, I think if I think I think I think if you uh, uh, had a happy ending, I think you are as guilty, as culpable as right. I don't know, man. I just
There is a
like
responsibility that comes with enjoying yourself.
right.
Just like, doing something bad. So, I mean, if you're gonna go out and drink, then you need to drink responsibly. You know, it's no different. And
Have a Uber, correct?
you
Yeah.
know, um, but yeah, I mean, shoot, like that. I don't know what the responsibility. I mean, we can tie it in though. I don't know what would be um what would be um Puffy's responsibility other than being accountable for his actions, whatever they may be.
No, no, I'm not talking about him per se. And in this scenario, I'm not even talking about a particular centerpiece.
Okay.
I'm talking about all of the surrounding pieces that 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 live next door that come out now talking about all the stuff that they seen. I'm talking about all the surrounding pieces that went to the parties or went to the beach house or made or did whatever they needed to do to get on said list so that they are always invited. I'm talking about those people, right? Who are culpable. I'm talking about those people. I'm saying that they have a responsibility, right? To if they see something crazy, don't wait till the police are called. They have a responsibility to not go to the next party. they have a responsibility to at the very least, not don't go to any more parties, right? I can, but if you go to 2 parties, if you go to 3 parties, if
you with it.
if you
You with it. That's why they that's why that's why they not, that's why everybody ain't saying something. And then there's some people, we gotta remember that some people are with it. They enjoy it. That's what they like doing. They like those environments, they like group sex. They like, oh, allegedly this is the things that was taking place, and I'm not gonna go into any other stuff that is, still need to
correct,
do with court and stuff like that. And but if they was having orgies and stuff like that, like, people going there because they like that stuff. They get off
correct,
by watching and they get off by being involved. Like,
correct,
it's only one or
correct,
two reasons you go in there.
correct,
Either you like to watch or you like to be
correct.
in it. You know what I'm saying? So
And I'm saying you don't get to be that person, either the person like to watch or the person that wants to be in. And then when it get hot, talking about, oh man, I don't know, it was crazy. I always knew something was off about that guy. I seen him with that little girl, or I seen him with that young boy, or whatever. Like, you don't get to be the person that high fived him or her when it was your turn, and then surprised and want everybody to give you money to, TMZ shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't be allowed to make any money talking about, yo, I live next door and I seen everything, or I seen this at that party.
oh, that's going
You
on now. He
shouldn't,
got
like,
neighbors. He got neighbors saying they seen stuff.
got neighbors,
Oh,
son.
wow.
Like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's different. That's I don't know what
I
that's
don't
about.
like it.
I ain't
I
know
don't
because
like it. I mean,
I
I'm
ain't know
like,
because I ain't been on social media for a minute dealing with these taxes, um, but I didn't know that now, like, that's the new kick of the week. Now it's a neighbor that's coming out saying, I got this. I think the last time I seen it, they was talking about trying to put Jay-Z and Beyonce in the mix, in the blender with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
correct,
who
correct,
knows, man? Who
and
knows what they got going on? And I just figure
yeah,
we'll
all
see.
right, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, to me personally, like, not that I don't care. I'm too far away uh to care for real, for real. But what I do care about, like I say, is people getting 15 minutes of fame and getting shine for being looky loos and Monday morning quarterbacks talking about, let me tell you what really happened, right?
That's where we at, God. Like, I mean,
I hate that. I
that's
hate
where we at in
that.
society. Like, I'll be
I hate
honest. Like,
that.
if we went, let's say if we went live more often, let's say if we went live more often, and we was constantly talking about pop culture, hip hop, okay, bro, we
Yeah.
would have a lot more views. It would be a lot more people pulling up because people are interested in that stuff. They not interested in, like, and yeah, we went off the path, but they're not interested in doing what it takes to be responsible. Looking inside myself to say, it's easier for me to sit here and spend my whole day just watching all that stuff, watching what's going on in his life and that in Puffy's life and any of these artists' life and stuff and entertainers and everybody else and actors. But am I being responsible to myself by doing that? And that's what a lot of people got to ask, like, how much am I getting done? How much am I accomplishing if I'm giving that some, not, I know you're not doing that, but the people that's doing that, giving so much energy to that stuff. How responsible is that to their family? How responsible is that to their future? How responsible is that to their now? How responsible is that to their relationship with their significant other? Do they spend enough time with them, or is they focus on do they got to make sure they got to have time for gossip? I got enough time for gossip every day, but I don't have enough time to talk to my wife. You know what I'm saying? But I got time for gossip though. But I can spend 15, 20 minutes to gossip, but I can't just pick up the phone or just go sit down in a room and say, "Hey, babe, how was your day?" You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I'm just
what
like.
You said though. You said gossip compared to talking to your spouse.
You know,
right?
I don't got time to go sit down, talk to my kids, ask them how was their day. You know, I just
like
I
those
got a
things,
solid 30 from Diddy.
those things are all work, right? Like those things are maintaining your stability, maintaining your open communication, making sure that everybody is secure and stable, still showing your loyalty, um, showing your reliability to their needs or to whatever, right? Um, but the other one is not that, right? Like it's just fun.
It's just fun.
Right? And fun, I guess it depends on how you look at time, right? We either here for a really long time. If you're one of those people that think 100 years is a long time, or 70 years is a long time, or we ain't here long enough because you realize that, you know, that the Bible says cats was living for 1,000 years and stuff like that, right? Like, so somebody must have did it. Either way,
What happened?
right, either way, you got to deal with right now.
That's it. That's it, right?
Right, like, and that's it. You got to deal with right now.
Yep. And now is the
And
time to be
and if you don't want
responsible.
to be, if you don't want to, and if you don't want to be responsible, then I don't know how you deal. I guess you don't deal with right now. I think one of those. I think dealing with stuff was one of those words. I think to deal with. I think was one of those words on the list.
Um, no, but we did have place, we did have task, we did have duty, function, job. We did have those. Yeah, we did have those. We had management, we had influence, we had duty. Yeah, duty. We said duty twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, power, leadership is in responsibility, reliability, onus. And I definitely think that with moving forward requires being accountable and being responsible for everything that has taken place prior to the forward move.
Correct. That literally means, that's why I say consideration has to be there, because you can't move forward if you don't consider where you have been and where you are at right now and where you are trying to go. Like all of that is consideration.
All of that. Yeah, and being
In order to
responsible.
move forward, you have to have consideration.
You have to.
Right.
Have to. And there is a responsibility that has to be taken for any actions that may have occurred that need to be considered, because they need to be discussed. Because
Yeah.
without that communication, then you can't move forward. Then there is no move forward. Yep. So we got responsibility. Is it a foolish idea, or do we think it's a path to success?
100% path to success.
100% path to success.
100%. 100%.
100%
Yo,
path.
even look at all of the people that done Ponzi schemes and everything like that. Like even the bad guys know that in order to get what they're looking for, they got to take responsibility, right? Like there's a day gonna come where they might have to get locked up, and they you see them, with their hands behind their back walking out.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot more of that than I see people killing themselves, talking about, oh, they're coming. But I see people accepting what it is and doing their bid.
Yeah.
Right. So even the bad guys know responsibility is important.
Oh no. might be giving too much benefit of the doubt
Right.
right there with that one, because
Not I'm
it's like
thinking
if you
about I'm thinking about their moral code, right?
I think that's religion that got a lot of the when we talk about that, they got a lot of people that's like, like I would never commit suicide. I mean, because religion got me like I would never commit suicide. But then let's be honest, like let me start talking about some things that I've done where I probably played with my life.
Right.
You see? So, then would I not commit suicide? Am I not suicidal? So I could say maybe
Man,
until
all the times riding in my youth without my seatbelt, thinking it was corny. I'm
yeah,
saying I was 100% suicidal,
something like that, right?
unbeknownst to me.
Right.
Unbeknownst to me, I was acting suicidal.
You see? So that's what I'm saying. Things like that where, um, I would say, shoot, having sex unprotected,
100%.
like it's people doing that. That's suicidal. Um,
100%.
so like
That's
especially
100%.
when
I don't
especially
care
when you got
how.
multiple partners, you know what I mean? And then and some people would think
100%. Woo.
well, I don't gotta be sleep. Well, no, you don't have to you don't have to be sleeping with 5 people at the same time. You could have slept with 10 people over a span of time, and you slept with all them unprotected, and you got something. You see what I'm saying? So like you still playing with your life, it's still suicidal. It don't
Mm-hmm.
matter. It don't matter. So like when we see all these situations where irresponsible, that's a lack of responsibility and an effort to be responsible. I know mostly everything happens with maturity, especially if what if you do one of them things like you ride with your seatbelt? No, you don't ride with your seatbelt, but you never get into a car accident. Okay. You have a whole bunch of unprotected sex, but you never get a STD. You never get burnt or nothing. So then one will become complacent with irresponsibility.
I
And
think we said
then
complacency was bad, right?
no, complacency was good.
Was complacency good?
Or misunderstood. That's what complacency was misunderstood for real, for real.
Oh, okay. It was,
Yeah, complacency is misunderstood for real. Yeah, because complacency isn't bad. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's depending on how it's used, and
correct.
it was depending on how it was used. So that's where the complacency in that, because you don't learn, because there's never any consequence from it. then we tend to believe that it's okay. It's like somebody doing something illegal and they never get caught, and then and they keep going, and then eventually they get caught because you thought that it was going to be no consequence. You got comfortable with it. You got so super comfortable with it. And then what happens? Now something happens, and now you have to, do some adulting. Now you got to mature up and change with, and change your approach. And some people do, some people don't. Some people keep doing the same thing. Like, oh, well, that was just one time after I did it 1,000 times and I never got any punishment. Okay, well, that's just once. So I probably got another 2,000 again because I'm sharper now than I was then. So I can go do it 2,000 times. Like, that'd be the logic. Like that'd be the stupid ass logic. And
irrational. The opposite of
irrational. Yeah. It's like, come on. So like, because you 1,001, that one wasn't enough. Like, why did you even have to get to 1,000? You didn't find what you were looking for prior to the 1,000?
Nope. Because it becomes like the children's story, right? Uncle Ricky, he telling me a story, and he said they robbed another and another. He said, but he couldn't stop, like he had a disease.
Word.
Right. It started out as a quick way to get some chain money or some sneaker money, or get a leather bomber or something like that. But Buddy got addicted to jacking people.
So people get addicted to having random sex with people.
Living dangerously. People get addicted to. I guess the people like the extreme sports people, like that feeling is what I'm thinking is equivalent to people that get off on having random sex with not strangers per se, but just reckless random sex. I think it's like extreme sports.
But what if it's not reckless though? What if it's like, oh well, I had a relationship with everybody, but I just had a lot of relationships.
So it's reckless because you don't know how, if they're protecting themselves with all their other relationships. So while you can be faithful and true to your relationship status, you don't know how safe they are being in their other relationships, right? And that's where it becomes reckless because you can't do anything about that, right? You won't know unless they tell you, or until you pop hot.
Until you pop positive. That's wild as shit. But I'm not talking about a person cheating. I'm talking about
not cheating.
Yeah, like not cheating. I'm talking about like, like they done been with a lot of people,
Yeah.
but nobody was a permanent. That's why I be talking about, like,
everybody was friends.
Everybody was friends, everybody was, nothing lasted. Nothing was everything was unstable, right? Because
everything was casual.
Because it wasn't responsible. It wasn't no responsibility in there. When it's saying,
yeah,
when it's saying, a thing that one is required to do as a role or obligation, and they talking about a duty, task, job, function, place, accountability. What else we got right here? influence, leadership. If we dating, somebody gotta be a leader, right? But if it's no goal, if having nothing been established, then there isn't no goals. So then we end up dating irresponsibly.
It sound like for nothing.
For nothing.
Because if there's no goal, then it sounds like it's for nothing.
It's for nothing.
Right. And that's
it's for sex. That's what it be for. It's just people won't admit it. I would admit it when I was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
and that's yeah, everything, like all that stuff is fleeting, right? Like I think they even got a term for it. It's called casual sex, right? And I'm curious if casual is like the opposite of stability or the opposite of those words.
Casual.
Right.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, because that's the term for it, right? Where people just got friends called casual sex. Like it's just we ain't got no strings attached. We just we fuck, we having sex, but
well, it says
you not mine, I'm not.
Right, because it's not regular or permanent. It's relaxed and unconcerned. That's what they got for it. Relaxed and unconcerned. So not regular or permanent. Freelance. Some freelance sex. And even and you know what they have here? Casual, friendly. They have
friends, everybody friends.
Everybody friends. That's my
everybody
friend. My friend this, my friend that.
My friend this, my friend that.
Yeah.
Word. Your friend. Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, you know what I'm saying, will put casual in that. Let's see what we got right here. Free and easygoing, open, laid back. What else we got right here? Well, the opposite is permanent and full-time. Of casual.
So but those words, permanent and full-time, mean stable.
Absolutely.
Right. Like 100% those words both mean stable. Permanent is stable, full-time is stable.
That's right.
Whether you show up to work or not, you have a full-time job.
Yeah. And from responsibility and that stability you speak about, we get firmness, steadiness, secureness, strength, safety, balance, reason, soundness. You get durability, consistency, permanence, reliability, dependability, lastingness, immutability, indestructibility, unchangelessness, unchangeability, inalterability, imperishability. You know what I'm saying? All that from being from stability within responsibility. And now I get why when we ask people to be responsible, it's so difficult because they don't want to exemplify none of that stuff. And it's crazy, like when you try to hold people accountable and you just like, well, these were your actions. You know, like why you don't want to be responsible for your actions? Why you don't want to acknowledge your actions? Because then taking the responsibility. Like, so the first, which one is first? Am I accountable, or should I be responsible first?
Responsibility is the overall arching umbrella, and accountability is one of the stems of responsibility.
Okay.
Right. So just like maturity, like I didn't want to cut your wisdom earlier, but looking at so for right now, I'm gonna accept those words in sequential order to represent a pattern that exists, like a level of steps to consciousness, and
A level of
I
maturation
think
from the
yeah,
trustworthiness to the
maturation, yeah,
okay, I got you.
right. And maturity, I think like as you mature, right? Not and as you take accountability, as you demonstrate the other attributes that equal responsibility, makes you a responsible adult as you mature. I don't think you can't make yourself mature. You you make better decisions for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever matures you, whatever trauma or thing that whatever was the straw that broke the camel's back kind of don't matter to me, because once you've learned the lesson, that is what maturity is having learned the lesson and adjusting fire for effectiveness, right? Because again, at the end of the day, the last word was competent, and and
Competence, yes.
and in my mind, huh?
Competence, yes.
Yeah, right. And to me, in my mind, competent doesn't equal great, doesn't equal awesome, it doesn't equal insurmountable. It doesn't even equal something that I gotta overly sweat or overly think or overly I don't have to do anything. To me, competence is the bare necessities. It's
It's
just
getting it
it's
right.
just the regular. It's just
It's getting it right though.
you know,
They have it here as
yeah.
the ability to do something successful or efficiently. So that's getting it right. That's just getting it
Hmm.
right. That's it. And when we say, like, when it said, when the dictionary right here, the Google dictionary definition says the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. Okay. So capability, ability, competency, capacity, proficiency comes out of competence.
Mm.
Accomplishment, knowledge,
Oh,
mastery, prowess,
you said did you
skillfulness.
say capacity?
I did say capacity, yes. Savvy,
That's interesting.
virtuosity, know-how, aptitude, talent,
Oh
artistry,
man.
you
Oh
know.
man.
So that's getting it right. That's how I summed it up. It's just getting it right. Like, now I know how to do it on the most basic level. And that's why being responsible, competence is important in that, in being responsible, and taking responsibility for things, because the competence is going to determine if you do it again or not, if you learned your lesson or not, if you learned from the experience.
And and when you're competent, you can show proficiency.
That's right. So it's going to determine if I need to do this again because there was a good result, or well, there was a result I desired. Okay. Or am I going to do this again? And and I'm expecting a different result, but I'm doing the same thing. So that's where it's like, that's where I've correlated where it's like dating responsibly. So if I'm going into another relationship and I haven't learned nothing from my last relationship, then I'm liable to do the same shit again. You know what I'm saying? And just being another thing for a couple years, and then on to the next thing for another couple years, and on to the next thing for another couple years, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, so then by the time, I understand people don't mature. Like, I understand people do mature, but is there an age of maturation? No, I'm learning now that like people could be older and still ain't mature. You know?
Yeah,
and
8 to 80.
Yeah, like even seeing young, even being younger, like being around like old heads, you know, people I grew up with and stuff like that, you would see people doing stuff. I see people my age now that's doing stuff that's not mature. They still, I see some people older than me that are doing things, they're physical actions. When I look at it, in my eyes, in my opinion, I mean, they living their life, do what you want to do, as long as it don't affect me. But in my judgment, I'd be like, that's something I would have done when I was younger. That's not something that I would do now.
That's discernment.
Well,
unless I misunderstand discernment. No, I 100%
I agree with you, guys. I agree with you. It is discernment, because I know I wouldn't do that now because I'm way more mature, and I see that there's something more beneficial that I can be doing versus doing that.
And I only said that because what we're doing here is an attempt to elucidate our inability to communicate properly or to even understand, right? So a lot of these words, most of them are misunderstood.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you use a word like judgment, people take that negative religious aspect of what it is to judge, and now they put some characters up high that's looking down on you, and they putting themselves in those positions as if they're the most high or up high or higher than you, to where they can look down, right? And the reality is, I'm looking right at you, and I'm discerning if I want to go down that path or not. Right? And I'm convinced, bro, if we understood these words better, if we used the most appropriate words, and we understood those words, and we understood the person that we're communicating with and how they use words, and stop assuming that we all took the same English class and we all agree.
Now you gotta talk. Because it's natural with text messages and everything nowadays for people to misinterpret stuff. So that's why, for all my important people, y'all know who y'all is. You know God. Man, talk to me. Call me. Let's have a conversation. Let's not do it through text, because like I said, I'm a paradoxical Pisces. So I'm gonna come off rough. It's gonna come off rough. I be on here. We be on Cigar Sundays trying to, get better with our communication. Nice. For real. Damn, don't throw me under the bus, God. It smells and love. We come on here. Be nice. Gotta be nice. Smiles and love. That's the motto, baby. Smiles and love. You know, we want people to
Yeah.
really, you know, check it out. Like, be responsible. Am I being responsible enough with the people I care about, with my responsibilities, with the things in my life? You know, do I actually exemplify level-headedness, rationality, sanity, reason? You know, we be doing this stuff, but these Cigar Sundays and these words, they be self-checks too. I be self-checking myself. You know, we'll do this and we'll have these conversations and stuff like this, and then, you know, for the whole week, I'm milling over this. I'm thinking about, you know, my responsibilities, and do I implement enough maturity, common sense, you know, competence? Where am I at with these things? And then I look at how they apply in other areas of my life too, not just with my finances, but with my communication. And am I being responsible with my communication with the people that I care about? You know, with my wife, with my family members, my mother, with my sisters, you know, my brothers, my business partners. Am I being responsible with what they expect of me? You know, and then is there the balance there? Is there a balance in it? So, you know, am I under good leadership myself? As far as, am I managing myself well enough? Things like that. So we'll take everything. Do I accept enough culpability? Do I accept enough blame and fault and guilt when I know I'm wrong about something? You know, do I take the time and examine that? Like, damn, you wrong, Pearl. You know,
Yo, God. Yo, do me a favor, man. Look up consideration, because I'm saying consideration should be the first word, first similar word. Because to me, like everything you just got finished saying was all consideration. Like you need a consideration. Like those things are the makeup of consideration in my mind. Am I doing the right thing? Did I offend? Did I, right? Am I using my money? Am I um, uh, making good choices? Am I being the best? Am I being an asshole? Am I being a jerk? Did I do that on purpose? Like why did I do that? Why did I say that? Right? Did I have a smile on my face? Like, was it sincere? Like all that is you taking into consideration that people are people.
I'm gonna pull it up, God.
Hmm.
So we got consideration right here. Careful thought, typically over a period of time. A fact or motive taken into account in deciding or judging something. Thoughtfulness and sensitivity towards others. A payment or reward. And then they have here in law, anything given or promised or forborne by any one party in exchange for the promise or undertaking of another. And then we have importance and consequence. So careful thought, all over that. Thoughtfulness and sensitivity towards others. You know, I work on that. I work on the sensitivity part. We getting better. But careful thought, typically over a period of time, I mean, that's, the other stuff will improve. The sensitivity will improve over a period of time. I just need more practice.
Hmm.
Yeah,
For real.
that's really it.
I do a lot of reflection and contemplation.
Yep. And that's it right there. Deliberation, do things deliberate, a lot of
Yeah,
contemplation, a lot of reflection. That's what I was just talking about. A lot of pondering, meditation,
yeah.
mulling,
Mulling. I do a lot of
examination.
mulling. Analysis. Yo. They got analysis, then review, then discussion, then discussion. Analysis, you review it, and then you discuss it.
Attention, inspection, scrutiny. Yeah. So I scrutinize the hell out of things. I know I do that.
I know I do that.
I know I scrutinize the hell out of things.
I know.
I know I'm more too.
To my detriment, actually.
Yeah, me too, probably. It's a Pisces thing. And it might be a male Pisces thing, because I don't know. I don't know female Pisces who do that. But I mean, but that's just the way it is. Like sometimes you trying to figure out answers. So it takes a little bit more critical and analytical analysis. and
rumination. It takes somebody to ruminate.
It takes a little rumination. Right. And it's definitely that analysis. So, and that contemplation.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's what I'm saying, right? To me, consideration and responsibility kind of go hand in hand. All right, looking at all these words, like none of them was used in conjunction with the other or flip flop. Because I didn't see attentiveness, I didn't see thoughtfulness, I didn't see none of those things, right? Like,
and we say the state and fact of having a duty to deal with something, having control, more behave correctly toward and respect, and then that's where we got these other, all of the similar words, and that's what we went on to. The opportunity, ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. It's a lot of people, and that's where I think a lot of people get caught up at too. And I think this one right here has taken over the whole, all the independent thing, the whole, oh, I'm independent, I don't need nobody for nothing. I don't need no help with nothing. I don't need nobody. And I think that
everybody thinking they can do it by themselves.
Yeah.
Thinking that it don't count unless they do it by themselves.
Exactly. And that level of responsibility, often is a lonely level of responsibility.
Yeah.
It often is. It often is. But definitely this consideration. We had thought, reflection, discussion, attention, like all of that stuff is in there for sure. All of that stuff is in there for sure.
I don't know, man. So like I said, I don't think it's like responsibility is one word that I don't think is misunderstood at all. I think it's well understood, and folks are saying no, thank you.
People just don't want to do it, right?
They don't want to do it. It's literally too much work.
That's crazy. When I hear things like that or see something like that, that's wild to me, because I'm just like, man, I can't afford to not be responsible. Like I can't afford it. Like my life depends on me being responsible.
Correct. Correct.
And I mean, and I would say maybe since I started giving a shit about my life, I might, you know, but I'm definitely like, okay, that comes with maturity. Because when people younger, they do things, you know. But then we say, how young is young? How young? What's considered young to still be doing the same thing you was doing in your 20s and 30s and 40s? Should you even be doing the same shit you was doing in your 30s and your 40s?
I think if it's productive, you should.
It's productive. We talking about foolishness stuff. We talking about irresponsibility stuff. The
Oh
responsible stuff,
no,
yes.
no. Anything you just doing for fun? Hell no. I think your fun palette changes from your 20s to your 30s and from your 30s to your 40s. I think 20, not think, I know 20-year-old me and 46-year-old me is completely different. Right, like what we consider to be fun is different. Our goals are similar and possibly the same, but our approach is completely different.
So at 46, you're not going to the Rick Ross concert?
Not 46. I'm going to the Rick Ross concert. Um, but I'm gonna make sure that I have enough money. I'll make sure my bills are paid. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not going on the humble just to be at the Rick Ross concert. I'm gonna make sure that I can have fun at the Rick Ross concert. I'll make sure that it's something that I can afford to do. Right
Okay.
at 46. At 46, if I
Are you going to the
have to
NBA
rob
Youngboy
Peter,
concert though? Are you going to the NBA Youngboy concert at 46?
say again.
Are you going to the NBA Youngboy concert at 46?
I don't know. So I like NBA YoungBoy, right? But I would definitely feel awkward at an NBA YoungBoy concert.
Because nobody there is your age, right?
Nobody at my age, right?
Right.
I would definitely feel. See, Rick Ross is my age, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Like he old too. Uh, but
Yeah, all them
those.
guys our age. Jeezy, all them guys. Rick Ross, Jeezy, who else? Gucci Man, all them.
I could not see myself going to a Rod Wave concert unless I was going with one of my children.
Rod Wave, okay. I don't even know who he is, but I'm sure he's one of who the young people listen to. I'm not on the wave, so don't get mad at me, Rod. You know. But I get that though. Because the responsibility is
Yeah.
making sure that everything else is took care of before you go. And that's everything, right? Everything.
Everything.
That's everything.
Everything.
Did you get permission? Are you single or are you married doing that, going to the concert?
Like it kind of don't matter, right? Like if it's is it squared away? Like, like is it squared away? Like are you sneaking or are you how are you doing it?
You say, are you sneaking? You say,
Right?
are
Like,
you sneaking? I know that's right. But it's responsible, it's being responsible, all in all. And that's the main focus of like you're not gonna be doing things that you did when you was 20 and 30. And I mean we heading up there in your 40s and 50s. If you see yourself
Son,
if you see yourself doing the same things that you was doing in your 30s, in your 20s and 30s that you doing in your 40s and 50s, you messing up for real.
You messing up. And the concert thing was perfect because age appropriate, Rick Ross. Early in my life, like I say, I would have had to go to that concert, come hook or come crook, just because there's gonna be a lot of baddies out there, and I'm gonna be able to have something to talk about, and it's gonna get my attention or whatever. Or I could just be a big fan, right?
That's what, but that's why the single guys go, because of the women, right? Exactly.
Right. Like I'm just being.
I mean, I ain't making it up. That's why they go. So if you going and you single, then hey, it's a chance to mingle, right?
Chance to mingle, right? But 46, just liking or reminiscing on the times when in my younger days listening to Rick Ross. This is all fictional, by the way, all made up, make believe. In my younger days when I used to listen to Rick Ross or whatever, and I had to go to that concert, I would do whatever to make sure I was there. You know, hell, you might even drive out of state. All right.
Make it a getaway. Yeah.
At 46, that becomes a getaway. At 46, that becomes a vacation. At 46, that becomes that one concert turns into a thing.
Right. It's planned.
Right?
It's a planned event. You actually took time from whatever your busy was to actually set time aside on purpose and go do that. So it meant more.
Correct.
It means more than being
Correct.
23 or 24. And it's just like, hey, it's a concert, you know, blah, blah, blah. Let's ride. Let's go. Okay, bet you got tickets. Now we're going to get something out in the front, you know, like type.
We're going to get some when we get out there.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
Like you might miss the whole concert if you get in.
If you get in, right?
Right. You know, because you're trying to find the scalper that got the best prices. Right? Like you don't want to get ripped off. Right.
Yeah, it's crazy like that. It's definitely crazy like that. But that's where that responsibility comes in, that maturity, that adultness.
Yeah, no, it's important, bro. But they call it adulting now. They make it a whole thing, right? They make it a whole funny little catchphrase called adulting.
Yeah, when you're being responsible.
It's literally just you taking responsibility.
That's really all it is.
And people say why they exast like adulting, like it's such a drag. It's such a okay. I guess I'm gonna do an adult thing today. I'm gonna be an adult today. I'm not gonna be childish. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm going to do the right thing for myself and for everybody involved.
Right. Yeah, people act like that's a task. Some people act like that's a task. But they do say one of the similar words to responsibility is task. So I guess they are just acting accordingly because who want to be responsible for some shit? Don't nobody want to be responsible. You know, people want to do what they want when they feel like it. Answer to nobody.
Correct.
You know, and I get that. I get how it is to where, like, you know, you don't want to answer to nobody. You don't want to feel like you got rules, regulations, and all that stuff. But I think it's a time and a place for everything. So I'm not a person who thinks that rules don't apply all the time. I'm just programmed that way. You know, because I realize where we at. So, you know, I mean, hey, like even in the comfort of your own home, you still got rules. So, you know, there's a responsibility to that.
That's true. Like hell, even biblically, the God of the Old Testament, he held people to such a standard that, or yeah, he even your thoughts to get you smited.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like,
Some old Minority
yeah.
Report type. What was that movie? Cruise back in the day.
Yeah, Minority Report.
Yeah, like you just think about it, they're gonna. Oh no, that might be on the way. You gotta watch out.
Yeah.
They might be on the what's that Neuralink thing? That sounds like something that'll link that
Yeah.
right on up to the hard drive, and you better not think it.
I agree.
That'll be some cold. That'll be a cold. If you talking about a cold world where you can't even think something fucked up, you can't even think nothing fucked up. You just be like, you just look at somebody like,
that's why they
man.
brought in the whole new. That's why they brought in the whole New Testament to make it easier for humans to be humans, because the rules that was set before was just unattainable. It was too easy to be on the bad side of God.
You know how you know how you be like, you hate when people jump in front of you and shit in the grocery store. Now imagine if somebody get in front of you in the grocery store and you just think like, man, I should smack the shit out you right in the back of your head. I can walk past you like you ain't see me, right? And then you come out the store and you know what I'm saying, it's an officer right there waiting to give you a ticket or some shit. Maybe it's a little robot or something like, you know, you thought about smacking the shit out somebody. That's a fine. You can't.
That's a violation, but I didn't do it though.
That'll be some wild shit.
But you was close.
You know, it's illegal to think it. It's illegal to think it.
Yeah, at least like, so that movie Minority Report was kind of better than the Old Testament God, right? Because Minority Report at least was based off you having a propensity to actually do that thing that you thought about, right? That's what they come and get you based off of, if you could really do it. Like that cat was just, if you just had a messed up thought, that was enough. Yeah, you ain't had to think about it.
So you gotta have prior
Right,
history. Minority Report, you had to have prior history for them to lock you up, because I ain't seen the movie in years.
at least, yeah, like at least it's almost like if you look at it like a search engine history. You
So
gotta at least
so you
have
got
been.
prize. You got prize. That's why they like, yeah, you got prize. That makes sense. So you know, that's wild though, because you like hooking that up, you can hook that up to like a person's psychological profile and all that. That's wild. That's crazy right there. I don't want to give them people no ideas, man. They already thinking enough. So yeah. Responsibility. We looked at responsibility this evening, broke it down. You know, it's a lot of ways where responsibility can be implemented. It's a lot of things in life where we can be where we can lack some responsibility and improve in some areas. because responsibility is multifaceted. Like it isn't just like, well, I'm responsible in this, but you know, I'm not going to be responsible here. And people have that option to choose the things that they want to be responsible about. You know, that's that whole free will and choice and all that good stuff. But like I challenge myself, challenge everybody who's watching, you know, just to check yourself and see, are you being as responsible as you can be in situations in all areas of your life? You know, and when we talk about being responsible, we talk about, are you being mature? You know, are things stable? Are you competent in it? You know, is it reliable? Is it rational? Does it make sense? You know, you know, do you feel duty? Do you feel charge? You know, do you feel accountability for these things? Because usually those are things that we care about. Those are things that we put the most effort and the most energy into. I know at least I do. So that's all we really got tonight on responsibility. God, you got anything before we get ready to close it out? Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
I do gotta go to bksoulfarm.com and cop you the 1016 160 self-sustainability, right? Like good ways to go from where you at to get to a stable foundation, right? Like this whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means, right? Or what it means for you to be responsible. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, and support your interests and live. That's all I got, God.
And that's all we got. The link is in the description for y'all to go and get that book. Also, check out the other links as well. We also thank y'all for joining us this evening. Don't forget to check out the Veteran Kettle podcast, also on the DBCHEFTV network. Like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Hit the notification bell. And don't forget to join us each and every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Cigar Sundays Live. Peace and positive energy, productiveness to everybody for the beginning of their week. And we'll see y'all next time right back here on Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Girl, we got that touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt it, so it must be love. Girl, we got the touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt it, so it must be love. I said lately, I've been thinking about you crazy. Wondering will you be my lady? Cause I wanna take you down. Girl, I wanna show you what this loving's all about. It's our time, girl. I would wouldn't waste another minute if my heart wasn't in it. Let me take you down, girl, and spread you on my bed and show you how I'm about to girl, we got that touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt it, so it must be love. Girl, we got the touchscreen love. Every time we kiss